And I will say this year, I have so many brand new titles. Like, you wouldn't believe. I have Becca Mack books, Tessa Bailey books. I even have a copy of Iron Flame that somebody donated to me. I have signed books in there. I have types of genre, like every type of genre. So again, on that form, you just tell me what you want, and I try to find it and give it to you.
Hey, I'm Les.
And I'm Ree. This is Not That Kind of Book Club,
A bookish podcast where we read it so you don't have to. Hey, book friends.
You're supposed to continue that.
Hey, book friends, I'm Ree.
I'm Les,
It's Not That Kind of Book Club.
where we read it so you don't have to.
And it's going to be a little bit different today. We're talking about reading, but in a different capacity. I'm actually going to be interviewing you, Les.
Yeah, I'm putting a different hat on today, so it's not your average book club with just Ree. But okay, I'll put on my...
That's actually what we're going to be talking
hat.
about, is Not Your Average Book Club. So tell me a little bit about this. This is a community, it's a business. Like, what exactly is Not Your Average Book Club, Les?
So, okay, I'm going to have to kind of go back in time a little bit. And I think this was about 3 years ago. I began reading again, and I was influenced by past events, and I started reading. And eventually Ben told me, he's like, Alessia, like, I'm tired of hearing about your books. So lo and behold, I made a bookstagram, and it kind of blew up a little bit, and like I was connecting with people, I was having conversations, I was posting reviews, and this actually basically was the basis of Not Your Average Book Club. So after that, I created kind of that book community, for lack of better words, and we started doing book swaps. So it was in my living room, 6 or 7 people came, we brought a bunch of books that we had read, and we kind of just swapped them all around. It was fun, quaint, little, and then it started getting bigger than my living room house. And like, I have a small house and my living room isn't that big, but when you start having 10, 11, 12 people show up at your house, it gets a little bit harder. So that morphed into more events, and it actually morphed into I started doing blind dates with books. So if you don't know what that is, it's essentially a book, you wrap up, you put kind of what the genre is, and the person is surprised by it. And after that, that's when this became a business. I actually registered 2 years ago, so now it's the second year that I'm registered. And we actually started selling products. So I had blind dates. I had a collaboration with a friend of mine with Countryside Creations, and we have hoodies, and we actually worked with a small company that it's actually my cousin and my sister called Kuji Crafts. So they were making stuff for me, and it kind of just grew from there. So now we have paid events, kind of like murder mysteries. We do White Elephant and Ugly Sweater Christmas swaps, and board nights, and yeah, it just kind of amalgamated from my small living room, and now we're a full-blown book community that is inclusive to everybody and lots of fun.
Well, and not only do you do all those in-person events, but you also have quite a few book clubs that go along with Not Your Average Book Club as well, right? That's a big piece of it.
So what we started with is the notion that there are so many book clubs out there, but you have to pay to be a part of them, and maybe they're just not necessarily the most inclusive. And I ended up creating what we call our virtual book buddies. And those became book clubs where we have one's called Magical Maidens, and I have 2 friends that are running it, and they run it so well, and everybody wants to join it. I think they have 24 people in there, and it's a virtual book club. They read 1 book a month, they discuss it, but the biggest thing that we emphasize is, if you don't want to read a book, you don't have to. We're not going to force you to read it. Yeah, we want you to read at least 1 in the 3-month span, but there's no commitment. I don't make it mandatory for you to communicate and like meet every week and say, okay, we're on page 300, let's discuss. So you get the month and maybe they'll do touch bases, but there's no commitment in the sense of I'm going to pressure you to kind of be a part of things.
Okay, that's pretty cool. That's a nice low stress way to get involved in a book club, because I know the case of some people will start a book club and all of a sudden they are going off and it's at a pace that just can be way too unrealistic for some people.
Yeah, and I think for me too is I'm not offended if you don't want to be a part of things, or if you kind of say, no, this isn't for me, or you decide that you want to go off and make your own book club. Please do. I'm such a big supporter of a book club, and I love seeing people fall in love with reading again. So again, the other part that I like to emphasize is the whole mission or background of this is, yes, to have that book community, but it's also to reuse, rehome, and relove used books and books that people don't necessarily want on their shelves anymore, because how many books are out there that people are getting rid of and they have 15 copies of at the used bookstore. And I think the biggest thing is let's pass those around. Let's relove them and rehome them, because there's so many out there that people haven't read. And just because they're used, it doesn't change the value of that book.
Okay, so you kind of went off into a bit of a different question I have, because you do take book donations. That's kind of what you're talking about, used books. So that's the whole thought behind a lot of your blind dates with the books, is they are all donated used books that are being upcycled.
And my thing, like I said, I want to rehome those books, and that's why I try to make all of my products, all of my book clubs affordable. I think being that person who's on Facebook Marketplace selling a blind date with a book for $35 is a little bit ridiculous. I think my basic ones are at $10, and I am making a lot of changes right now on pricing, because again, I want to make sure that this is an inclusive community that people can be a part of. So not charging $30 or $100 so that we can get a copy of the book, go to this place, have a beer included, and just being a part of a book club, I think that's ridiculous. So the most that I've ever charged for a book club is $10. And that's not because I want to pocket your money. It's because we want to have that sense of commitment in the in-person ones. And I know I said that there's no commitment, but that's more associated with our virtual ones. I think with our in-person ones, that $10, it actually encourages you to show up as well. It's not me saying you must be there, because if you don't want to be there that month, you don't have to pay to come that month, or you don't have to be there. So that's important to us. I do actually have a lovely team now. I essentially was kind of falling under the wagon. I was overwhelmed. I couldn't keep up with messages. I had way too many book clubs going on. So I needed help, and I asked for help. And I have 3 amazing ladies, Demetria, Emily, and Maddie, helping me kind of on the backside of things. And it's helped so much. And I have never been so appreciative of people, especially because they're volunteering their time. They don't get paid. And let me emphasize as well, I don't get paid for this. It's a company, but we are basically covering our basic costs, and that's it. No one's taking home $15 an hour.
Where is this money coming from?
Yeah, it's like you're helping me rehome and cover the business license and all of that. So I like to emphasize that we are still that person in that community, that we're rehoming, we're doing this and making things affordable for the community.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's really cool, because one of the products that you do for the community that's really big with Not Your Average Book Club is Bookmas.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit more about what exactly Bookmas is, because this was new to me. I think that's around the time when I started following you, as you had posted Not Your Average Book Club about Bookmas, and I was like, ooh, this is super interesting. And then later on in life, I found out it was you, and we put that all together. But what is Bookmas?
So the 12 Days of Bookmas is technically an advent calendar for adults, but we also do it for kids. And it's a book advent calendar, which you might think of and you're like, why would I want that? But they're all wrapped up books. It's almost like you get little presents. You fill in a form, you tell me the genres you like, some of your favorite books, all of that. And I essentially handpick books for you. So I will go into my basement, which is essentially a library at this point. I'll pick out 12 books, I'll wrap them up, and you get to pick a book that you want to open. Now, it is the 12 Days of Bookmas. 24 books is overwhelming.
Yeah, that's a little bit much.
So we decided on 12. So basically how you do this is you either start on December 1st and you open a book every other day, or you'd start on December 12th and you'd open it every day till Christmas.
Ooh, I like starting on the 12th.
Yeah. And
it's a great day.
I always say me too, but I don't have one. My joy comes from actually seeing other people's joy. So I always tell people to post their books. I tell them to let me know what they think. And at any point too, if you open it and you have that book, you send me a message and I trade it out, because the moral of the story is I want you to love what you're getting, especially if you're paying for it.
Totally.
So the 12 Days of Bookmas is something you pay for, and pricing, pricing ranges from $80 to $200. Now, $200, you're like, holy crap, like for 12 books, that's insane.
No, but this is like a caveat, so you're leading me right into my next question, which is you don't only put books in those baskets, like there's options for other things, isn't there?
So my first year doing it, I didn't really give people an option. I just said, hey, you get a tote bag and a mug, or you get a mug and a bath bomb, and it was just a surprise for people, and that was super fun. I loved it. Now, backtracking a little bit, do you know how Bookmas started?
How did Bookmas start?
I started thrifting books, and then I ended up having so many books that I didn't need, and I was like, you know what, what would be cool is having an advent calendar that you open books. Like, how fun would that be? And I remember posting it kind of as like a fun side gig. I'm like, this could be fun. I want to know if other people would be interested, and mostly it was like putting it out there for my family and friends. It was one of those years that I couldn't buy a $200 gift for someone. And I was like, hey, for $65, let me do this. And steal of a deal, I actually ended up having 60 people reach out, and I was like, holy crap, what did I get myself into? But then the next year I was like, you know what? I'm going to structure this better. So last year was the second year. And how we did it is you were able to select just the books. So you would get 12 books, and that was an option. Then the other option would be to get your basket of 12 books that had items in it. So I have 3 categories for items. The first 2 categories are the same. It's kind of those smaller pieces. And then the third one, you get a big item. I'm not going to disclose what our big items are yet, but last year,
tell us what last year's
last year we had cocktail bombs, tote bags, blind dates with a book for kids or a Christmas book. We had mugs, we had bath bombs, we had soap, we had
did you have Kindle covers or little bags?
We had book covers made from one of my good friends now in Ontario, and I say one of my good friends now because we connected over the phone and we're still in contact, and she's a lovely human. And then I think there was, and again, my friend from Countryside Creations, she made what I call a book buddy, and it's a crocheted cup with a face, and it's so cute. It sits on my shelf at home. I've had it here before, and I absolutely love it. So, we also had hoodies last year. So
you did have hoodies.
We did have hoodies last year, but that's kind of last year's. So I think for the full thing, the price was like $170, which again looks high, but look at the stuff you're getting, and then you're also getting all of the goodies of what you'd get in a blind date from me, and you have a lip balm in there, a pen, a keychain, stickers, all of those fun things that you also get, and bookmarks. So that's kind of what it looks like. And this year we have a lot of really fun products as well. So I'm really excited to see what people think. And pricing did change, unfortunately, with just the cost of shipping and inflation and everything. So we'll be posting all of that pretty soon. We are launching our pre-orders sometime next week or the following week, and we're opening up for orders. If you're wondering why it's so early, we close orders November 15th so that we can make sure we have all of the products in time and we're able to make your baskets so that you can pick them up by December 1st.
Yep, so you have it in time. You
Exactly.
Honestly, only giving yourself a 2-week window to prep it, like, that's pretty insane.
You ask me how many books I wrapped last year.
Well, how many orders did you have last year?
I had 125.
Okay. Holy smokes. So you're doing over 1,000 books easily.
Yeah. It was about 12,050. Yeah, it was insane. I thought I had rheumatoid arthritis at one point. I don't, but my fingers were so sore that I was reaching out to my friends and they were helping me. And I had people come over and we would just have those gabbing sessions where we would talk.
Just yap and wrap.
Literally, it would be 3 hours. They would wrap 2 full baskets. I'd wrap 3 full baskets. So even in one sitting, you can really only do 5 or 6.
Yeah.
And in one evening or one day, I can usually do 2 baskets and then I'm done for the night. So it does take a while. So with that being said, I think that money that you pay for the basket, it also covers a little bit of my time. It's not that I get paid, but guys, I sit and wrap books for 2 months essentially.
Well, all your materials, like, those are definitely costs that come up
and
with
getting
it.
all the craft paper, all the Christmas paper, the
Stickers,
ribbon,
all the
and I'm getting
items.
new business cards made. I will have a pre-order discount, so make sure you're looking for that.
We love a pre-order discount.
And I will say this year, I have so many brand new titles, like you wouldn't believe. I have Becca Mack books, Tessa Bailey books. I even have a copy of Iron Flame that somebody donated to me. I have signed books in there. I have types of genre, like every type of genre. So again, on that form, you just tell me what you want and I try to find it and give it to you.
Okay, so you talked a little bit about pricing tiers. You went through, yes, there will be a little bit of a pre-order discount, but I'm putting you on the spot here. Obviously, we run Not That Kind of Book Club. Do you think Not That Kind of Book Club could have a little bit of a discount code going on for our super sweet listeners?
Of course they can. I'm not 100% set on it yet, but we are going to share it, and I will.
By the time this episode is up, it will be up.
And coming from the less perspective, Rhea and I would love discounts, even though now I'm talking to Les in the business side, and I say yes, of course. So there will be a discount for listeners, and there will also be a discount for pre-orders on my page for followers. And that's where we're going with this. I'm so excited this year. We have so many things that I'm excited about, and I hope you're excited about. So and if you ever have questions about it or you don't quite understand it, send me a message. I have no worries answering questions. I just think that it's super fun because as an adult, do you get an advent calendar that's not chocolate?
Exactly. Well, and like females in general tend to be the gift givers. We're making sure everybody else's gifts are set. Like, so to do something and give yourself a gift at this time of year, around Christmas, I think is a really special thing. And not only are you getting a really cool gift, but you're upcycling things. So it's really kind of a cool thing.
And I think what's fun about it, you're upcycling, you're rehoming, you're reloving, but you can also give it to somebody else. It can be someone's Christmas gift, right? Like it doesn't have to be something you open every other day or 12 days before. You can buy it and be like, hey, this is your Christmas gift. Look, there's 12 books, all of these items. And like, that's super fun. I know I gave my mom and my sister one last year, and they were actually so excited about it and opening it. And they're like, Alessia, like, where did you find this book? And it's like, I'm magic.
Well, and that's the cool thing is you can, once you have your basket, you could really do whatever you wanted, even up to maybe you want to just take the books and go hand out 12 books to 12 random people that you know.
Yeah, and like we've gone and
the world's your oyster.
Yeah, we've gone and put them in book libraries before, and and the thing is I also have a book house now outside my house. So I typically like to surprise people, and I'll just put like 10 of them in there, and we'll post a picture saying, oh, we're restocked, and people come, they leave books, they leave really good books.
Yep.
I've always been kind of monitoring it. That sounds weird, but making sure it is always full and not just a certain genre or older books. Like, there's a good mix.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that, and I was going to say something and I lost that train of thought.
I've got more things to say to you. So another part of keeping Bookmas going and blind dates with a book going is you accept donations of books.
I do. And
what does that look like?
The biggest thing too is for me to acquire books, I'm very much active in thrifting and looking at used bookstores, but it is hard sometimes to go and buy all the books. So I do have a few lovely humans who have donated books, and it's been so amazing. And I'm honestly just so grateful for them. And I'm always open to book donations. You're able to drop them off at my house at any point.
Or send you a message.
Or send me a message. We'll organize it. And I know sometimes it's I don't know how to word it. Sometimes for you'd rather take them to the used bookstore, and I'm not offended by that. I like to take things to the used bookstore too. But at any point, if you're like, you know what, I'm going to donate these, I'm your girl.
We got to keep Bookmas going. We got to keep the things going because it's, donating books, whether you have a huge library like, both of you and I do, you still go through and kind of cull every so often. And this is a way that you can keep giving those books life, and they're not just going to sit on your shelf forever. It's a way to, have somebody else experience the magic of whatever book it is that you're donating.
And I'm not going to lie, last weekend, I actually made my partner help me with this, but we took every book out of my personal library and we physically scanned them all in. So I have a copy of every book. Like, I know what every book I own. And I actually pulled out about 100 books from my personal library that I put downstairs in the basement.
Ooh.
They're good books. Like, I have the entire Scarlet St. Clair, like A Touch of Malice. I have that entire series just because I do have duplicate copies.
Yep.
So those ones are going down. It's just super fun, and for me it's rehoming, right? And I know people will appreciate it, and it brings me joy seeing other people open the books, which actually leads to that point I forgot, is how I kind of encourage people to post those books is at the end of Bookmas, kind of into the new year, I actually have a giveaway. So if you post everything you open and I share it, like every time you post what you've opened, that's an entry to win. So typically if you posted every book you open, that's 12 right there. And typically the giveaway prize is books, naturally, and kind of a bunch of goodies. I've gotten a few signed copies of books that I've put in there before. So it is super fun. It's encouraging. And for me, it brings me joy because I love seeing other people love their books or appreciate it or recognize how important it is to reuse and rehome.
Big time. So that's Not Your Average Book Club
and
Bookmas all wrapped up in a nice little bow.
Exactly. And I know sometimes people get a little bit confused because I'm the creator and owner of Not Your Average Book Club, but I'm also on the podcast. They are very close names, but I do want to emphasize that we are our own entity and we're a business. We run our own things, but we love kind of being partnered in a sense.
Collaborating.
Exactly. And especially with me being in both, collaborations are big and we love it. So, just for confusion's sake, they are very different things.
That's why we're doing a quick little interview here, is so you can see kind of the difference of what Not Your Average Book Club is versus the podcast.
And I think further down the road, if we ever do another interview or touch base or podcast,
definitely,
I'm going to bring my 3 lovely humans with me because I feel like having a discussion with the 4 of us, even though 3 of them will be on Zoom most likely,
that's fine.
I think it would be super fun because then you get to see their perspectives and how they feel and why they want to volunteer and all of that. Yesterday we had a meeting from 11 to 4 o'clock, which sounds insane because it was insane. We planned out all of the new book clubs. We actually have 10 currently. So 2 of those are in person and 8 of them are virtual.
Yep.
7 of them are on Instagram, and then the 8th one is actually on Discord.
Oh,
so
cool.
Between Instagram, Discord, and in person, it's 10 book clubs. And there's always more kind of coming based off of people interested and what people are looking for. But yeah, 5 hours yesterday. We actually did a little bit of a photo shoot.
Oh, cute.
My partner was a photographer, Ben, yesterday. So we did that, and then we went to Delish. We sat down, we hashed out a bunch of things, and we're really excited to see, or for you to see, what's kind of coming in the next months and see things unfold, because we are excited and we think that you'll be excited.
Amazing. Well, Not Your Average Book Club, thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you kind of want to add to wrap things up here?
Honestly, I think the biggest thing is community. That's where we started. This is a bookish community. We're inclusive, we're safe. We want people to feel that joy that comes from books, and at the end of the day, people come, people go, but I want this community to always be solid, and everyone is welcome.
Amazing. That's
so
important.
That's the biggest thing. I want everyone to know this is a bookish community. There are amazing humans part of this community, and I'm just excited for you to connect with other bookworms, and it's just a lot of fun.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Amazing. So you obviously have Instagram.
You got
Not
it.
Your Average Book Club is probably the best way to find you.
Yes. I also have I have a website, so it's the same thing, Not Your Average Book Club. I believe it's just .com. And that's where you would place your orders. You can actually see my origin story. You can see all the collaborations we've had. I was trying to do a blog, but guys, I learned that doing a blog is actually a lot of work as well. But I think I will go back into that eventually, because I do love writing.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a ton of things on there. If you ever want to contact me, there's a contact form, and there's also a book donation form. So there's lots of things. Go on the website. It's fairly easy to navigate. And then you're also able to send me an email. I do have an email. It's the same thing, just at gmail.com.
Amazing.
And then, yes, if you don't remember any of that, it is all on my Instagram.
Yeah. And we will also link it in our description of this episode as well. So everybody can check it out there. Well, sweet. Thank you so much for coming on and talking about your other business here today.
I mean, I was already here. I just put on my my nice shirt and put on a different hat. And like literally I can go like this and be like, oh gosh, this is actually probably hard to take off. But
now you have a different look.
Hi, now I'm less. I'm no longer with Not Your Average Book Club. But guys, thank you for listening. And if you ever have questions, like, let me know. This all started like,
reach out to the podcast. Totally.
Yeah, but Ree did so well interviewing, and yeah, I'm sad that I wasn't a part of interviewing, but it was because I was being interviewed.
Amazing.
Because I love banter with you. We banter all the time,
and
right?
It's been quite some time since it's just been you and I.
Exactly. And yeah, super, super fun. I love it. Do you guys want to hear a funny story?
We would love to hear a funny story.
I feel like I always pick on my sister. So if my sister listens to this episode, Katya, I love you. I'm so sorry. But what else does a big sister do other than make fun of her little sister?
Absolutely. I'm the little sister.
So we went to St. Martin, and we had so much fun. Like, yes, my sister and I burned like you wouldn't believe. We learned very quickly that the Caribbean sun is different than the sun in Hawaii. So we went from being always in Hawaii on the Pacific Ocean to going to St. Martin in the Caribbean and the Atlantic Ocean. Anyways, my sister ended up having a really bad heat rash, and then it kind of started spreading to her feet and her hands, and she couldn't figure out what was going on. And my mom and I were trying so hard to help. The one day we actually went on a hike trying to see monkeys. We did not see monkeys, and by the halfway point we were so hot and sweaty that we went back down.
Yep.
So at one point my sister was like, that's probably what it is. It was just, I was so sweaty it broke out. We flew home, and it was just getting a little bit worse, so she ended up going to the doctor. And guess what it was?
What was it?
Hand, foot, mouth.
So this is like a child's disease, but adults can get it, which is the craziest thing to me.
It was wild because they said that, and immediately, of course, I started laughing.
What, do you pick that up at daycare, Katja?
Yeah. She's like, it's not funny. I'm like, no, I know it's not funny, but the part of this that I'm laughing about is, how do you contract hand, foot, mouth in St. Martin? But hey, if anyone didn't know, once you get it once, you'll never get it again.
Oh, it's like chicken pox.
Yeah, or that's my understanding of it. So my sister, when you have kids, you're literally set for life. You're never going to get it, but your kids might. So there's the bonus of that.
Oh my gosh.
It's funny. It's not funny. It's very unfortunate. But I had to share it because that was one of those moments in St. Martin that I'll never forget now.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, there's a fun way to end the episode.
Hand, foot, and mouth.
Making fun of my sister for getting hand, foot, and mouth in St. Martin in the Caribbean. And I actually have zero clue how she did this. Mm-hmm. We were not around children. So, yep, who knows?
Oh man, it's too funny.
So I wanted to end it on a note between note. Banter between Les and Ree. So
awesome.
Yeah, Ree, do you have a funny story to share?
Not off the top of my head.
Fair.
Life's been crazy lately. But
why is it crazy?
Because my partner and I sold a house. We bought a house and moved in all inside of less than a month. And then I'm moving my job location right away. So it's like so much change happening all at the same time.
Oh my gosh.
So we're just happy to keep a level head right now.
And then add in the fact that you're also working full time. You're doing a podcast. Your partner's working full time. You have 2 dogs.
Yep. One of those, the service dogs. So lots of
and you're training. Wild. Your life has been a little bit of a roller coaster.
Big time. But it's all good things. So that's the important part. And I keep reminding myself.
Her library at home looks so cute that I might have to actually post a picture of it on the page because I took a photo and the photo is adorable.
Yeah, it looked really cute.
But yeah, I guess we should probably
wrap
it up.
Amazing.
That did not sound good. Wrap it up. What do you think of? It's not good.
No.
We are never saying that again.
So, in conclusion,
we're going to close this chapter.
So many puns. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in and listening. And again, we are so grateful that you brought Not Your Average Book Club and 12 Days of Bookmas to the podcast. I'm going to get my own Bookmas this year. I'm super excited about.
I've already pulled books out for you.
Oh, I'm so stoked. And Kay, well, thank you, Les. I love having you here all the time,
I'm
on a regular day.
Yeah.
It's the best.
I'm Les.
I'm Ree.
This is Not Your Average Book Club.
A bookish podcast. No, it's not Your Average Book Club.
Oh my God. Not that kind of book club.
Not that kind of book club. A bookish podcast.
Are we going to start a theme song?
Maybe.
Okay. Finish what you were saying.
It's a bookish podcast where we read it so you don't have to. Take care, guys.
See you later.